Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So we've got an account takeover today for Brannis. Brannis was actually gifted the win of my free account takeovers, which I do on my stream on Twitch. So every other week on a Sunday, I do a giveaway to one of my Twitch subs. The winner this week was actually Kobe, who is another YouTuber. I'll link him below so you should check him out. He won. He gifted this opportunity to one of his subscribers' sons, which is Brannis. So we're diving into this account. The purpose of this takeover is to try and support Brannis on his clan boss. So at the moment he's doing around 14-15 million on Nightmare. We're going to try and support him to get more stability in his dungeon teams and then just kind of have a general feel. So let's have a look round the account before we do anything. I like to look to just kind of see where we are in days played. So 176, pretty well advanced into the game now. So coming up for that 6-month period. Level 62, which is solid. He obviously plays the game a lot. And what has gone on here? What has gone on here? Brannis, what are you doing to yourself? I cannot believe my eyes. So I get accuracy is important, guys. Accuracy is really important. It really helps you develop your game. But I tell you now, if put some effort somewhere else as well. Maybe we're looking for level 10. Are we on the level 10 mission? Great Hall to level 9. So we're doing the mission fine. I guess he's going to go 9, 10. Once you've done that, Brannis, put time here and here. These two, get these all up to 3, 3, 3, then 6, 6, 6, before you go back to accuracy, because you are hamstringing yourself for content in this game right now. Even if you got, it's so fast to upgrade everything. 13 gold tokens to upgrade everything to level 1. You would get 2% more defense on all of your team. You would get 2% more crit damage on all of your team. You would get 2% more HP on all of your team. I know I say it a bit, but this is so crucial. No wonder you're struggling to do more than 13 million on Nightmare, because you haven't given yourself the defensive stats to enable yourself to do the job. As I've said before, like A, S, D, D. Accuracy first, great. I know you're working on it. Speed is second. Defensive stats come next, and then your damage. You haven't got any defensive stats built in already, so we're going to have to find it all in the gear, which makes it difficult to do. It's also one of the reasons why you're struggling to get past gold 3 in the arena. Okay, well, let's look at what champions we've got to play with then. So I know he's literally just pulled Ethos this weekend. So really good pull for him. Makes things much easier for him to get some jobs done, certainly in those dungeons. We've actually got quite a ton of legendaries here. Got the fusion in Razin. We've got a Ray, we've got an Ethos, we've got a Yannicka, all good champs. We've got an HP burn champion, which is going to help us for Spider. Miscreating Monster's going to help us. Stag Knight, one of the best decreased defense champions in the game. Allure sitting here done. So we've got some good champions here. I can see why some of these legendaries are sitting as 50s. He's actually been a bit unfortunate in some of the legendaries that he's pulled. They're kind of mid-tier. So in terms of Clan Boss then, what we're going to do first. Clan Boss is our first priority. We want to try and push his Nightmare damage up. So I think for Clan Boss, let's see who he's running right now. We obviously need that decreased attack champion. What we're doing here, so yeah, 14 odd million today. That's good. On Void. So we've got Sepulchre for decreased attack. We've got decreased defense and weaken. All of that works nice. We've got 2 poisoners in here. Actually a good idea. But this team feels good. This team feels right. Is there anyone that I would immediately sub in? I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone, unless we've got an ally attack champion sitting somewhere, which would be the next upgrade if you don't have yourself a counter attacker, which we don't. So if there was a Catacomb Councillor sitting somewhere, I'd say throw him in. Doesn't look like there is unless I'm missing him with my own eyes. So that kind of works. We've got lifesteal. We've got decent stats here. That's not too bad. Lifesteal. Pretty good stats here. No lifesteal here. Sure about that for a decision. Fairly low defense. That could be something that we can improve. Got lifesteal here. Good defense. She's way better built than he is. Apothecary. Fast. Really low defense. This is going to be something to work on here. So yeah, maybe there's a couple of builds we can do in terms of the way the champions have been selected or been kind of geared up. That's probably where we're going to find our gains in this run. And then in terms of dungeons, let's have a quick look through the dungeon areas. So I think we're doing 20s, but they're not stable is the note. So look at this. 12 minutes here. 1 minute here. I'd say this has got to be manual for that to work. Surprised if that's auto, but we can check that out. 3 minutes here. We'll just try and speed that one up. And 4 minutes here, yeah. So we're going to get to work then. I'm going to bring Ethos into some of those dungeon runs. And we're going to try and push this clan boss damage up. Let's see how we get on. So the first thing to do is to have a bit of a gear cleanse up. We've got 660 pieces here. One of the most important things is to keep on top of your artifacts because they can easily spiral out of control. One of the things I like to do first, now we've got this new filter system, filter these bottom 3, filter on flat stat HP, attack and defense, and just look to see, this is keepable if we roll speed here. This is not though. Anything which doesn't have, so anything flat in those areas will go. That might be usable, that might be usable. There's nothing else that's going to be usable here. It's not in a speed set, it's straight away binned off. Doesn't matter what any of these other stats are. At this stage of the game, it's gone. Maybe with the exception of immunity gear, actually. Because you might want some fast immunity gear. So sell those 13 pieces. It's not a lot. The other thing I would do at this stage is just upgrade this to 4, then to 8, then to 12. If we're not rolling speed on these flat pieces, we just get rid. There's an opportunity here to get yourself a really fast set of gloves. That's not going to be the one. Same thing here. Are we going to get that fast set of chests? Because these other substats are good. If we're trying to get like a fast nuker or a speed lead champion, then potentially this could work. If we don't get a double roll on speed, then it's going to be gone because we can easily find a single roll on main items anyway. Got one though, so I would take that up to 12. Just see if we can get that double roll. Because speed gear at the kind of highest end of the game, for the arena especially, it's just all about those speed rolls. It's not about the main stat on the items. If you can get fast rolls with good main stats, perfect. But double roll speed there, that's going to be a keepable piece. And that'll be used at least on a faction war person. Okay, so that's the first thing I do. The next thing I do is just find gloves and look for attack percentage on gloves. Crit rate, crit damage, scales outside or above and beyond attack percentage 99% of the time. The only champion you might consider putting attack percentage on is someone that scales with bomb damage. So again, on a speed piece, if we've got a double roll speed, I'm not going to get rid of that. But on these ones, we're not going to be using these. So all of those gone straight away. That's a nice kind of filter out. The other thing you can do, which I do, is just look through and say, right, how high in the priority order is the set we're looking at, and how many pieces do we have stored? So for live set, it's kind of right towards the bottom end of the priority because we have immortal gear, which is better and does the same job but better. So you might pick 1 or 2 pieces to keep for a set. But these, unless you've got like a double roll speed or like crit and crit rate together, like these two, and then even then, if you got them together like that, question is roll them. Don't just sit on them and think, what do I? Let's just keep them. Great, roll them up. What you actually want on anything like this is for it to roll crit rate, not crit damage. because you want to put crit damage gloves on somebody, getting a double roll of crit rate on something like this, not that, I want it here, is massive for you. Crit rate wins this war on weapons, helms, shields, chests, any of those type of pieces where you've got the choice of either. You really want crit rate to come through. So if this rolls double crit damage, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's pretty low chance you're actually going to use that. So otherwise, do we need 5 sets of boots in this set? Probably not. They're probably a couple of speed, fine. 1 HP, fine. Keep one of the defense, get rid of the other one. So that's what I do on all the sets. If we then look down at some of the kind of niche sets like this, you would probably keep hold of one set here. I would argue whether you need any cursed gear at all unless it's brilliant. So far, all of that is not. They're all gone. Maybe 1 or 2 sets of frost. Regeneration, unless it's brilliant pieces, you probably wouldn't keep it. If you do keep something like this, I'm keeping this because this might be good as an offset. Not because I want anything in this set. It might be good for an offset. You know, like people in mixed gear, not with sets on. Same with destroy set. It's got to be insanely good pieces to keep it. We're not keeping any of that. So that's the process, guys. I go through, I clear it all out, and then we're probably going to end up being left with maybe 500 odd pieces to actually play the game. I would encourage you to do the same. So let's sell those bits off. Same type of idea on artifacts. You go in. So we've got a lot of artifacts here, which is I would expect for an account of this kind of level. So obviously 6-star stuff's better than 5, 5's better than 4. All that, you know, that all makes sense. Now you would probably need a lot more defense based and HP based than you would attack. So you might only want to keep 1 or 2 attack based rings. If you've got an attack based ring that you're keeping, you probably want it to have attack percentage as a substat, and you probably want to try and just roll to level 4 and see which one actually rolls into attack. That's the one you're going to keep, or maybe the 2 you're going to keep. I wouldn't keep a whole host of them because you just don't need it. So I would do that on all the different sets. Defense as well, you probably would want to roll on your defense rings, defense percentage, or at least HP percentage. This is a really nice ring, but I don't really want it to roll attack. If it does, it might actually still be good for an attack-based champion if we get a double roll or something. But really what we want is defense with defense. We want the main stat to stack with the substats, ideally. That's kind of what you're looking for. This is a definite keeper. And then I would clear out the stuff that's kind of rolling badly. I would also look to see if we've got rings with multiple flat substats. So something like an attack-based ring with defense percentage and HP, just not worth keeping. That one only if you roll attack percentage. This one, not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, so they're all good. If we then talk about amulets, again, mainly you're going to want defense amulets or crit damage amulets. They're the 2 main stats that you look for. The rest of them, you won't use attack ones often, and you won't use HP ones that often. It's good to keep a couple. You don't need many. Normally, most champions have some sort of debuff skill to land. Therefore, normally you're looking for accuracy as the next main stat. So this one here, defense with accuracy on it, great. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get rolls into accuracy to boost your accuracy up on those champions. If you've got champions that don't need accuracy, then you might be looking for crit damage with defense, or you might be looking for resistance or something instead. And then on the banners, pretty much you will be looking for, the main ones you'll look for will be accuracy again. Accuracy with speed is kind of like god tier what you're after. You probably want to keep 1 or 2 resistance banners in case you try a freaky build out. You probably want to keep couple of defense banners, and maybe the odd couple of HP banners, maybe 1 attack banner. If you've got an attack banner with speed on it, bin off the other stuff. You're not going to be needing 5, 6 attack banners. It's very rare. So that is pretty much what I do. I won't clear anything out here, but it's always nice to see what I've got in terms of glyphs to play around with. So that's my cleanse, guys. I'll do that now, and then we'll get into the actual meat and bones of gearing these guys up. Right, so I've played around with some speeds. What I want to do is to make sure Sepulchre always does block debuffs in line with the clan boss doing his stun. So I've plugged in some speeds of where we are right now, and I've then messed around with Sepulchre's speed to make sure, and a couple of others, just a little bit to make sure that when the stun lands, we've always got the A3 of Sepulchre coming in beforehand. Plenty of time to do it. So it's going to work right the way through. So I need to get Sepulchre's speed up to 196. Apothecary's already at 265. We need to keep him there. And we've got a few others that we need to play around with. So this is kind of my speed guide that I've built for this setup. Let's see how we get on with it. Just looking at the builds we've got already. Razin has got an accuracy chest on. I want to try and change this to defense chest. So we're going to have to try and get some accuracy pieces to replace that. We do not have an accuracy banner here. It's a defense one. But if I can get an accuracy set to replace this, I'll get a lot more defense into his build, and we might be able to move into crit rate gloves. So you kind of move on in different areas of the game to start pushing damage up. So we move from speed set into accuracy set to move the accuracy level up, but keep it at the right amount. We then move from an accuracy chest into a defense chest to push up defensive stats, which then enables us to do the damage. So it's ASDD, accuracy, speed, defensive stats, damage. If I can move all of those up a level, it enables me to start to play with the damage aspect of his build. At the moment, we're not playing with damage at all. We're purely defensive and debuff landed. I want to move that on a level. See what I can do. Right then, builds are done for Clan Boss. So I've managed to get defense chest here. We've kept the defense banner here. I've got accuracy set on. We've pushed the accuracy above the 180. So 180 is fine for Nightmare. We've got way more defense. We've got a lot more crit and crit damage. So all in all, this Razin's going to hit tons harder, and he's still going to land his debuffs. That is job done. We've got Sepulchre at the right speed to keep her stun going. So you see A3 here, stun. A3 here, stun. A3 here, stun. So every time that's going to land in the right place, so that we're always going to avoid these stuns from the clan boss. High defense, the right speed, the right accuracy, and then we push damage. That's the Sepulchre build. We've got ourselves an occult brawler now with some defense. 2.7k. The right speed, the right accuracy, probably even more accuracy than we need. So build is fine there. Same sort of thing with the frozen banshee. Right accuracy, the right speed, and then we built defense, 3.2k, so that's gone up as well. And then lastly, we've got our apothecary. Occult brawler also went into life still. We've got our apothecary, the only one not in life still. That chest I rolled up earlier, here it is. 13 speed on it with defense. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible either. 2.8k. He's probably going to be the first to die. We could do with swapping this out for a defense percentage chest. We could also do with rolling up this. I don't want to roll this up because it's a flat stat, and we probably don't want it more than this, but you will replace it eventually. And you could do with finding just a bit more defense across the build generally, really. But we have got a lot of speed in his build. So, Apothecary looking strong, strong-ish. Could do a little bit better, but it's not terrible. But he is fast, so he's still going to be able to do a job for us in other areas of content in the game. Let's do a run then. Let's do a run, see how we get on. So we're trying to compete with that 14 or so million we were doing before. It should be, see if we got a key already in the, yeah, we have key here, nice. So it should be full auto. Should be full auto. Oh, let me just check that actually. No, I think I delay. Let me just check what I did on the calculator. I delayed twice with Sepulchre. Okay, so all of this is right. So what I need to do is auto it until Sepulchre's done 2 A1s, and then I can hit manual it, sorry, until Sepulchre's done 2 A1s, and then it's full auto from there. Get the poison sensitivity out nice and early. First A1 from Sepulchre here. Plenty of damage coming out already. That's nice. Poison's away. Second A1. Now we're on auto. This now will auto right through till the end of the encounter. And we should find that we always have our block debuffs and increased defense up for the slam. See, no stun there. And we should just get the best rotation of our abilities. My biggest concern is whether decrease attack falls off at some point during the fight. That's the biggest danger of us losing earlier than we'd like to. Otherwise, we're kind of good to go right the way through. So I'm going to hit it auto. I'll show you the results at the end, and then we can get into some dungeon content. Okay, so we've come in at 16.3. 16.3, and actually my fear happened. We did drop that decrease attack. I'm going to go for one more run, see if we get a bit of a better RNG. But that's always going to be the challenge. That's always the challenge with this sort of setup, is if you've got someone you're relying on like this for decrease attack, if they drop it at any point, then you're in danger. And we've got a lot of poison here that can fill up the debuff bar extremely quickly. And that's a challenge as well, because sometimes if she tries to put it on and there's no space, what are you going to do? I'll run it through again and I'll let you know how we get on. Okay, that's coming better. 20.5 million, so that pushes it up to a 2 key. That was with reasonable RNG, nothing crazy there. Straight away did the next key, 5 minutes 40, which is about right for this team. So all in all, we're going to be close on a 2 key for any affinity with this setup. It will be tight every day. Every day will be tight until you improve the gear, but the gear is in pretty good place. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to build up the dungeon champs that I haven't done yet. So people like Razin will come in the mix, Sepulchre will as well. Probably Frozen Banshee, probably Apothecary. But we're going to also build up the Ethos, the Ray, maybe the Yannicka, and people like the Miscreated Monster. Just check their builds as well. And then we'll go and get into some dungeons. Okay, here we go. We are ready to nuke some dungeons. So we've got Ultimate Gaelic. I've got him some crit rate. He had no crit rate and not much HP. I've boosted his HP up. I've kept his accuracy at a good level, and we've got his crit rate up. So he is ready to rock and roll. We've already had our Razin built. We've now got Ethos with some damage. So not crazy damage, actually. We're kind of lacking crazy damage gear here. We've got a Ray in a similar sort of area to that. We're running a bit low on silver as well. She's not good to go. We've got a Stag Knight good to go for our decreased defense. So he's in a good spot. Miscreated Monster is brilliantly geared for Spider and kind of carry mode. So that's all good. Already had our Apothecary good to go. And then I've kind of got Allure as a backup if I need her for something like Fire Knights. So let's get into some of these dungeons and see if we can't just get these a bit more stable. I'm going to start with Spider. I think with the lineup we've got, this is the easiest one to do. I'm actually going to let it run with the previous team and just see if this is an auto team. I can't imagine that it is. But I'm not going to try and fix something unless it is broken. It might be that he was doing the decreased defense and then he was just kind of doing like a manual run from there. But it could be that this is it's an auto team. Maybe I'm wrong. Drop turn meter there. And again. I guess we've got big shields going on. We've got the speed up going on. So in my head, whether this works or not, one Cold Heart is enough. We'd get a better result if we had Ultimate Gaelic in here doing burns. So if we just switched out one of the... Yes, we're going to get a reset. There's no way this goes through without a reset going in, which means it ends up being quite a lengthy run. Unless I'm wrong. No, okay. So I think that works. I think it does work on auto because we probably then get the Heartseekers come back round. But what I'm thinking is, same team, we just take one of these two out. Let's see which one's did better. Did quite well. So that one's probably a bit worse. Can't remember which one was which now. So yeah, backed one comes out. Backed one comes out. I think we just throw in Mr. Burn. Mr. Burns, where is he? Ultimate Gaelic in. There he is. Now if we press start here, what you do have to do, if you're going to do this on a macro, you need a macro that targets the boss. If you target the boss, Ultimate Gaelic will still do his correct cycle of burns. So he will get his increased attack up first. We don't have a drop defense, so we didn't land that. Got the accuracy resist. But the burns go out here. See how many burns we've got going out. So we're going to get a ton of damage going on this spider now. Now we're going to get our Heartseeker off. Why have we not had our Heartseeker yet? Did I miss it? Maybe she doesn't do it when you target the boss, which would be weird. Or maybe we're waiting for decreased defense, are we? Here we go. Okay, so we dropped the turn meter, and now this is going to be around about, maybe a little bit longer than a minute run. But this will be consistent as long as you click on the main spider. The burns go out again, that's going to be all she wrote. And this is then an easy spider run. If you want to do it full auto without doing a macro, so the way you do this with a macro is you bring something like BlueStacks in. BlueStacks you can make press in certain ways at certain times. So you can actually make it press the spider and you run it as a macro. If you guys need me to do a video on it, then note below. I've done a video about it in kind of easy sense, but I can do another one a bit more detailed. But that'll be consistent. If you don't want to do the macro thing, you want to do it on player in play, you would have to squeeze in another champion that's going to, maybe you'd swap Apothecary for someone like a Gorgorab who would do increase attack before Ultimate Gaelic goes. But that is going to be super consistent for spiders. Let's move on to dragons. Dragons, we've got a 3-minute best time right now. Just thinking who we'd want. So we would want this, we would want this. We're going to want a decreased defense. So this is, I think, yeah, I see why we're doing that, because we Stagnite's the negative affinity. That's all good though. I think she comes out, and I think we put in the carry. Maybe it's like this actually. Speed lead, damage nuke. We'll see if this works. It might be without Miscreated Monster we haven't got enough control. But if we can do it fast without the control, then we'll do it. There is quite a bit of damage here. Trouble is, old the witch there does her wrong ability for her first move. So we should already be actually laying the slams in here, but we're laying them in a bit late. Might mean we just take a bit more damage than you'd like. We're still getting a decent amount of damage off. One down. As long as we can get through wave 2. Actually, our ethos, because we don't have the damage gear that we want, our ethos is not hitting as hard as you'd like. Still not bad, 20 odd Ks, but you can definitely get a ton more damage out of an ethos if we had better damage gear and a bit more silver to kind of work that through. I'm going to fast forward this to the actual dragon, see how we fare on the dragon part of the fight. So I'll show you that in a sec. So Poisoner didn't make it to the boss in the last one, ended up being like a 3.5 minute run. And because the Poisoner didn't get through, we actually were really slow on the Drake. So what I've done is I've just switched it up. I've moved Miscreated Monster and Stagnite in. Even though Stagnite's weak affinity here, he's still more reliable at placing that decreased defense than the Witch. The Witch has got kind of different things on her mind. She's thinking about, I don't know, a broomstick or something. She does the wrong moves at the wrong time. We don't want that. So this has proven to be way, way more consistent. We've lost the Ray as well, but Ray, quite frankly, hasn't got good enough gear to do tons of damage anyway. So we get through to the dragon much quicker. We've got a Poisoner up. He throws out the poison sensitivity, and at this stage, she's our main damage. We get a decreased defense on, and it lands. And then we just got to get poisons ticking. So the quicker we get poisons up there, the easier this is going to be. And obviously, Miscreated Monsters in there just to kind of keep everybody healthy, ticking over. Everyone else is there really to have done their job on the waves. So this feels like a much more stable team. And it will be consistent as well. We'll get consistently under 2.5 minutes, I think. Yeah, we should do. With the amount of poisons that are ticking, you'll do this pretty fast now. You see the chunk of damage there from those poison ticks. We'll get the sensitivity back up again. It'll probably be about 220 here. And that is going to be Dragon fixed as well, guys. So 2 done, 2 to go. And sometimes it does, just takes a little bit of flicking around. Look at the damage here. So actually Ethos does come home with 1 million damage, which is good. 1.6 from the Banshee, because most of her damage is on the Dragon. So let's move on then. Let's set a team up for Fire Knights, which currently, that was a new PB and that one there. Currently 4 minutes, it's quite slow. This is good, this is good. Make sure it's the better one. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. These 4 I like. I'm not so sure about this guy. Again, he might just be worth keeping in there for the safety of it. So interesting then. Maybe I run with that same lineup. Look, so 4 minutes 16 was the best before I did any regear. Let's throw the same team in. One thing I'm not sure about is actually if we make sure Allure is not taking black here. We'll see. I haven't checked that and I should have done. No, so Allure's the target, which is not what we want at all. We actually want for Apothecary to be the target. We'll see if it works. I think that's something I will tweak. Yeah, she's probably going to die unless we get lucky. We don't want it to be set up so that if we get lucky, we survive. I'll let this run through. I'll see if it works, but I will just tweak that after as well. Okay, so we done it. We did it in 4:29. Nothing too special with that. But Allure died in that first wave. So the reason why we got inconsistency on this dungeon is because Allure is not... Allure's taking the flak. So 28k HP here versus just over 28. 28.2. See how close this is? 28.2 versus 27,900. So our accuracy is actually low as well. I'm going to tweak this build to make sure she's got higher HP level and hopefully see if I can get our accuracy above where we are now. We want it to be closer to 200. So I need high crit rate, high accuracy, and I need higher HP than she's got right now. That's my challenge. Okay, so I have hopefully fixed the problem. We've got Allure in 2 sets speed. So 1 set speed, 1 set HP and shield, and then 1 set accuracy. So we've got 215 on the accuracy now, 37k on the HP, still good speed, 180. So she should be fixed to go and sort out the Fire Knight. Okay, here we go then. Take 2. Same team out there. Let's see if this fixes the problem. I mean, Apothecary's still potentially at risk. You know, we don't have a kind of definite way of dealing with it. We do have some stuns in there with our miscreated monster. But now that the damage is coming into him, I think we've got a much better chance of always staying alive here. Also, our Allure is going to drop people's turn meter right the way through the fight. So we should be just a much more stable team. Just that one tweak to one champion's setup should completely change the chance of us consistently winning this fight. I'm going to let this run through. I'll show you the end result, and then we'll have one more to deal with. Okay, then we've made it to the boss. We are, 3 minutes deep, but this is really consistent. Consistency is what we're after, and you can see here with the champions we've got at this stage and the accuracy levels we've put in, this boss will never have a shield. So 3 out of the 4 dungeons done. Just probably the easiest one and the most boring, I guess, one to go, which is Ice Golem. But yeah, job done really. All the ones that we want to farm are now on farm. So I think I'm going to end the video there. It's been a long one anyway. I've been Hell Hades. This has been another account takeover. We've slammed the clan boss. We've slammed the dungeons. Onwards and upwards. Catch you later.